Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Warzone Mobile. The game is out, people are hyped up about it, and here's going to be my honest review and first impressions of the game as somebody who is not a mobile gamer really whatsoever. First things first, unless you're an FPS god on mobile, just connect the controller to your phone via Bluetooth. I mean, right here is uncut, unedited footage of me trying to use the touchscreen controls, and I'm telling you what, my old man brain simply cannot figure these things out, man. It was embarrassing. I could barely even move when using the touchscreen controls. I then hooked up my wireless Xbox controller to my phone, then suddenly the game became playable. Once you're done with the intro tutorial, you're then thrown into Verdansk for a couple of warm-up games, and here, I really can't tell if the people I'm playing with and against are bots or not. One teammate pinged that we drop superstores, so I go in, and I basically just shoot a bunch of people who are either bots or perhaps are real players that don't have a controller connected, and instead they're just as dumbfounded as me trying to figure out how to move and shoot while using the touchscreen controls. After picking up a bunch of kills, we get to the final circle where my teammate ends up dying. I pick off one of the remaining players, then I get gunned down by the final player, sadly finishing in second. Now in Warzone Mobile, before you're allowed to edit your loadouts or really do anything, you have to first finish 2 matches of these beginner games on Verdansk. So I then jumped back in, and my teammates and I ran around a bunch, and eventually we got a win. I think I got 1 kill total in that game. I really didn't see anybody at all during the second match. After finishing my second tutorial game, I was then free to create loadouts, and the crossover progression between mobile, Warzone, and Modern Warfare 3 works pretty well in my experience, though not everything is here. Like for example, you can have your Interstellar camo that will carry over into mobile, but something else like my zombie ghost skin was not available, perhaps because that was a pre-order bonus for Modern Warfare 3. I'm really not sure. Like that skin was not available, and for some reason the beta skin has a completely different name within Warzone Mobile, but regardless, most of what you have in regular Warzone and Modern Warfare 3 does carry over into Warzone Mobile, and the things you do in Warzone Mobile will carry back into regular Warzone as well as Modern Warfare 3. So with that being said, for my third match, I decided to jump into Rebirth Island to relive the glory days of playing Alcatraz back in Blackout. My teammates were all over the place, constantly dying and landing in random places, though eventually they would prove themselves pretty competent by the end of the game. After getting a number of kills and not dying, the resurgence window closed, and of course that's exactly when I catch my first death of the entire match. From there I spectated my teammates who, to my surprise, actually clutched up and we won the game. I've gotta say, I don't know what's going on with Warzone Mobile. Are we actually playing real players? Are these bots? Like, their names look kind of botty, I'm not gonna lie, but they're also not the same kind of bot names that you would see on a game like Fortnite. You know, like in Fortnite you very clearly know who's a bot just by their name. In Warzone Mobile, I'm having a hard time differentiating real players from potential AI players, but I do find it kind of odd that in my first 3 matches of Warzone Mobile, I finished first place, and second place. That just feels off to me. I'm not even a Warzone player. If these are real players that I'm going up against, I feel like the vast majority of them are actually using touchscreen controls. They're actually playing on their phone, which is why they barely fight back whatsoever. So I feel like I'm cheating whenever I use an Xbox controller, but the game does have native controller support, and it's not hard at all to connect a wireless controller to your phone. Literally, it's right through Bluetooth. It's the simplest thing in the world. But that being said, if you're out in the world, like you're waiting for your car to get worked on, or you're on the bus, or where it is you are, and you want to play Warzone, you probably don't have a controller at your disposal, so you're going to be using the touch controls, and you're just at such a disadvantage, I feel like, when you're using touchscreen. But maybe that's just me as someone who's never played a first-person shooter on my freaking phone. Moving along here, after a quick game of Mini Royale, I finally had my 4 matches completed, which unlocked Warzone Mobile multiplayer, and this is when things got absolutely silly. Because cross-progression works with this game, I decided to take my RAM submachine gun in, since I haven't finished leveling it up yet within the normal Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. My first match was on Shipment, and guys, I cannot begin to tell you how incredibly easy Warzone Mobile multiplayer is. Not even joking, I'm sitting here at my desk where I normally play all my games, hunched over, squinting at my phone trying to see people while holding onto a controller, and I dropped 70 kills with like a 7 KD, almost every single life. I was on a 10+ kill streak. It genuinely feels like I'm playing bots, and when I look at the scoreboard at the end of the match, virtually everybody is a super low level player. If you want to talk about the idea of removing skill-based matchmaking, well, this might just be it. Everybody in this game was either a bot, which I don't even know if they have bots in the game as of right now, but they were either bots or they were a fresh account player who was playing the game on their phone, and who knows if they even have their controllers hooked up or not. But man, talk about an incredibly easy way to level up your guns. I'm not 100% sure if camo challenges are properly tracked within Warzone Mobile. I do know that weapon levels go up pretty quickly, especially when you're playing the multiplayer aspect of the game, but challenges are a whole different thing. Like, can you just jump into Warzone Mobile and knock out a ton of challenges really quickly for Interstellar? I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is that regardless if these are like brand new COD players playing on their phones or whether or not they're Activision AI bots or whatever, what I do know is that this is an incredibly simple way to level up your guns, and honestly, it's kind of fun because you're just running through dominating absolutely everything. Now, knowing Activision, skill-based matchmaking may eventually catch up to me, but perhaps not, because if the vast majority of the Warzone Mobile community are just people on their phones using touchscreen controls, then maybe there isn't a whole lot they can really do to manipulate matchmaking like they do on console and PC. I don't know. I'm not really a mobile gamer. You guys are probably a lot more versed in this. You guys probably have a lot more knowledge behind this, so definitely let me know down there in the comments. I will say that there are sweat lords on this game. Remember I talked about my fourth match? I jumped into that mini royale. Well, in that game, I got a number of pretty easy kills, but then when I was running up this mountain, I get drop shotted by a guy wearing an all black skin. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. This takes me back to Verdansk. But overall, my initial experiences with the game so far have been positive ones. Now, starting tomorrow, they will launch the Day Zero event, which seems to mean all you have to do is download the game and maybe play a match or two, and then the community as a whole is going to be filling up these progress bars, similar to the old community challenges that we used to have in COD. And from there, you'll get the rewards once the community eventually fills up all the bars. And the rewards are actually pretty nice. These can be used in Warzone Mobile, regular Warzone, or the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. So the game is free to play, and even if you don't care about playing COD on your phone, you can download the game and play a match when this event starts. And then from there, you should end up getting all of this content to use in regular Warzone as well as Modern Warfare 3. Overall, I would say that Warzone Mobile fills a niche that a lot of fans are wanting. For me personally, I think I would just much rather play something simple if I'm on my phone and I have time to kill, as compared to jumping into a battle royale. I'm not going to be carrying my controller with me everywhere I go, and for damn sure, I'm not going to be learning those touchscreen controls. So for me personally, I don't see myself really playing a ton of it. Maybe I'll jump more into the multiplayer and really see if there is just no skill-based matchmaking whatsoever, do some tests and things like that. But overall, I would say this is a pretty solid release. Is the game for everybody? Of course not, but for the people that they are targeting this game to, it seems like a pretty solid option. It's pretty well put together. The graphics are pretty good. It runs well on my phone, and I'm like 3 or 4 iPhones out of date or something like that. Like, it runs pretty well, and apparently the graphics get better the more you play, because it kind of like downloads and streams the graphics for you, kind of similar to how regular Warzone works. So yeah, I think it's actually a pretty solid release so far. Will I be playing a ton of it? We'll have to wait and see. But I suppose the big question is, what do you guys think? Let me know down there in the comments. What are your opinions so far on Warzone Mobile? Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this video here today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.